we have popular sweets brand risks boycott after woke LGBT plus packaging makeover. Yes, they're now invading the sweets. And who eats lots of sweets? The kiddies eat lots of sweets. What better way? What better way to get hold of the kids with your LBGTQ plus agenda and narrative than when offering them sweets? You know, every year we have Halloween. It's the only time during the year that we say to kids it's okay to take sweets off strangers. Every other time it's don't take don't take kids off strangers. No, I wouldn't take kids off strangers, neither. You just couldn't trust them, could you? You don't know what they're like, you don't know what the strangers have done to them kids before you actually eat them. But actually it's every day of the year, apart from one, it's don't take them sweets off those strangers, kiddies. Oof. Can you imagine this Halloween? How many rainbow sweeties are going to be getting given out to little kiddies? It's interesting, isn't it? Hey, get the kids' minds, influence the kids, because they have actually said they want our children, because there are marchers out there. Videos on YouTube, you can find them. Open display, and they're all ranting and running down the street, showing their butts, singing their songs and waving their arms in the air, some of them naked, saying, "We want your kids, we're coming for your kids." So you think it's all fun and games and love, do you? Really? With love comes responsibility. We don't just say, "Yeah, but it's love, man. It's love and peace, man. Peace." No, responsibility. We've got responsibilities. It's a selfish love. That's what they're pushing. It's well, not the kind of love I understand anyway. There are concerns that the confectionery company could follow the same path as Bud Light. A popular sweet brand has been earmarked as being at risk of facing a boycott after it was accused of producing woke LGBT plus packaging. Skittles, a confectionery product marketed by the Wrigley Company, produced limited edition packaging designed by LGBTQ artists for Pride Month. Well, Pride Month, pride in your sin, pride. Well, you know, come on. Why would you be proud of exposing yourself? Again, like Halloween, every other day of the year, we tell the kids they can't take sweets off strangers. And the same with Pride Month, when they go on these pride parades, shaking their arse, showing it to the kids. Every other day of the year, if they were to show their arse to the kids, they'd be arrested for indecent exposure. And that's the truth, folks, whether you like that or not, whether you think that I'm a hater, I don't care, because I'm exposing this. I am speaking the truth. This is the truth, isn't it? And you know it. When will you admit it? The product features several slogans adopted by equality campaigners, including Black Lives Matter, Joy is Resistance, and Express Yourself. And Black Lives Matter, that Marxist organisation, the founding women of Black Lives Matter have admitted it's on video, proclaiming they are Marxists. And if you don't understand Marxism, I suggest you go and take a look and understand it, because it's all about the breakdown of the family unit and the government control you. Yes, it is. Go and check it out. You know, Margaret Sanger, founder of Planned Parenthood. And if you've never heard of Margaret Sanger and you support abortion, especially if you're black, because she wanted, there are quotes there, she wanted the black babies aborted. That was her motive. She was so racist, it's unbelievable. Go and check her out. Don't just take my word for it. Don't just sit there calling me a hater, pointing fingers at me, telling me I'm being divisive or discriminated against people and I'm responsible for people committing suicide. Well, if that's what you think, then you're a bit of a sicko, aren't you? If exposing the truth and speaking the truth is responsible for people committing suicide, then let's all live the lie. The lie they're expecting us all to live now in multiple fields. Go on then. Go and bend the knee. Go and bow the knee. Get on that one knee. Whoa, yeah. Yeah! Skittles vowed to amplify and celebrate stories from the LGBT plus community ahead of the release of its latest limited edition packaging. And you see the limited edition packaging. It's got a rainbow on it. Okay, and this other one up there now, there's got a rainbow on it. Skittles. You know why it's a rainbow, don't you? Because they're in rebellion against God. Because God, after Noah came off the ark, you don't believe in Noah, you don't believe in the ark. Really? What do we find around the world? What do we expect to find around the world if there was a global worldwide flood? We would expect to find fossils buried, once living things, dead things, buried in sedimentary layers all over the world. And what do we find? We find once living, dead things now, buried in sedimentary layers all over the world. Look at the Grand Canyon and other canyons around the world. You can clearly see the sedimentary layers. So, why did God send a worldwide flood? Because he judged the wickedness of man at that time. Some roughly 4,500 years ago. And he sent a global worldwide flood because of the wickedness of man on earth. And after Noah and the animals got off the ark, God made a covenant with Noah. And he said he'll never again flood the entire world, earth, with water and wipe out humanity. Yes, you're going to get local floods, tsunamis, things like this. But he made a promise and a covenant with man and Adam. And what he said was, every time you see the rainbow in the sky, after it's rained and there's clouds, that'll be the covenant as a remembrance between me and you, that I will never bring a global flood on the earth ever again. And that was the rainbow. And the rainbow, as I say, was a covenant to show between God and man that God will never bring a flood on the earth again. And why, I said before, why did he bring a flood? Because of the wickedness of man. The rebellion of man, which would have included all kinds of sins, murder, sexual sins, sexual immorality, and it was really wicked. That's why he brought the flood. And so the LGBTQ++ community and many of the others are in rebellion against God, and they are like all of us, because all have sinned and fallen short of the standard of God. None of us are any better or any worse than the others. Yes, there is those who are committing or have committed acts which are absolutely abhorrent, and some of the sins are a lot worse than some of the others. But we've all sinned. There's a standard of God that he has given. And none of us, apart from Jesus Christ, have managed to pass that standard. Whether you've lied or whether you've committed mass murder, you are a sinner. You are disobedient. You incur the wrath of God upon you. And here in Genesis chapter 9 from verse 8 we read concerning the rainbow with the covenant that God made between man and Noah after the flood, once they've got off the ark. Then God said to Noah and to his sons with him, "Behold, I establish my covenant with you and your offspring after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the livestock, and every beast of the earth with you. As many as came out of the ark, it is for every beast of the earth. I establish my covenant with you, that never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of the flood, and never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. And God said, this is the sign of the covenant that I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you. For all future generations I have set my bow in the clouds. Yes, I have set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. When I bring clouds over the earth and the bow is seen in the clouds, I will remember my covenant that is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the waters shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. When the bow is in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. God said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant that I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth. And here we have God before the flood speaking. And in chapter 6, Genesis chapter 6, the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intention of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And the Lord regretted that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him to his heart. So the Lord said, I will blot out man whom I have created from the face of the land, man and animals and creeping things and birds of the heavens. For I am sorry that I have made them. But Noah found favour in the eyes of the Lord. And we read on, now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and the earth was filled with violence. And God saw the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. And God said to Noah, I have determined to make an end of all flesh, for the earth is filled with violence through them. Behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark and cover it inside and out with pitch. And then we have a description of the measurements of the ark given by God. And then we read, for behold, I will bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh in which is the breath of life. Under heaven, everything that is on the earth shall die. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall come into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And of every living thing of all flesh you shall bring with you. And it goes on for the description. So we've got God making a covenant with Noah. And we see the confirmation of that covenant in chapter 9 after the flood. After the waters have destroyed all flesh and everything with the breath in its nostrils, apart from everything on the ark and apart from the 8 people on the ark, Noah, his wife, his 3 sons and their wives. And the covenant signature, if you like, is the rainbow in the clouds, in the sky, demonstrating as a reminder why God destroyed the earth, the wickedness and corruption of all flesh 4,500 years ago, and the disobedience to God's laws, and that God will never again send a worldwide flood upon the earth. And it, as I've said, has been hijacked. So when you see the rainbow, don't think of LGBTQ plus and the depravity of man and sinful man, disobedient man. Think of God's covenant, and it's a sign of judgment and covenant. When you see the rainbow, when you see that rainbow, they are trying to hijack it, but in their disobedience against God and their rebellion against God. They flaunt the rainbow as if it's theirs. Well, it's not. It's not. However, its campaign provoked criticism from the right on social media. Conservative commentators accused the popular confectionery brand of directing activism towards children and going completely woke. Chad Prather, a conservative political commentator who ran to be governor of Texas last year, wrote on X, unless they are trying to get your kids to turn into LGBTQ BLM activists, what's the point of this? They're coming after your children. And he's right. They are. And they've declared that. They declared it loud and clear in the streets. They declared it loud and clear in the schools. With the fake transgender women going into the schools and shaking their booty in front of the children. Why? Why are they doing that to children? Infants, preschoolers. They're coming for the children, folks. Right-wing social media account Libs of TikTok said Skittles is trying to turn your kids into BLM and LGBTQ plus activists, which they are. And you see there, the Skittles wrapping, their packaging concerning their packaging also features a drag queen. A drag queen. The ones they send into the schools. You've got to see the links, folks. If you can't see it, you've gone totally woke. You've been brainwashed. You're hysterical. And you no longer understand reason as we know it. Who said that in Star Trek? As we know it. Life as we know it, Jim. Life as we know. Anyway, Skittles have gone completely woke. Skittles senior director Justin Holland-Torp unveiled the company's Pride packets in April. He said the Skittles brand is committed to advocating for the LGBTQ plus community, both within our own organisation and throughout the world. Outrage about Skittles' latest packaging change comes despite the company producing limited edition products to mark Pride since 2017. So they've been doing it since 2017. However, the latest boycott threat comes after Bud Light. We all heard of Bud Light. I'm not going to go into Bud Light. They were the same. And Bud Light lost 10.5% of their sales or revenues once they went wokey, cokey. Oh, the cokey wokey. Let's do the cokey wokey. So there you go, folks.